Welcome to BROADish. I'm Felicia Madison. I'm here with Jocelyn Chia, Hollie Harper, and today with us as our guest co-host is Elena Torres.
Hi, Elena.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for welcome. So we're going to start with a little bit of breaking news just because it's very frustrating to me. So I got into a situation where, and it seems to happen to me a lot, and I just posted it on Facebook, and I'm curious if you guys experience this a lot, where you tell someone something and then they tell you, no, you didn't, and you get into that fight. And I feel like it's maybe more of a female thing, or maybe not. It's maddening to me when that happens.
I feel like you're right that happens to you a lot more when you're a woman, just because I think for men it's like less intimidating for them to tell us that we're wrong, that it's less intimidating to sort of like yell at us rather than at another man.
Women will straight up shit on other women. Do you know what I mean? Like, we get mad when men like shit on us or try to gaslight us. But we'll turn around and do it right to other women just because I think misogyny is internalized, just like it's internalized by men. I mean, they pick up the same lesson that you can shit on women. So women do it to each other.
Well, it was really funny because I posted it on Facebook and someone commented, so Felicia, what I think you're trying to say is, and then one of the other, Pete Stegemeyer commented, oh my God, it's happening live in the wild.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, So I just feel like when you're a woman and you're in charge of something, you have any kind of project, you're in charge, you could be CEO or just the director of a little play in the bottom of a church. You know what I mean? People don't like you. They don't like you. You know what I mean? They may want you or need you because they think you're good. They think you're going places, or they may like a certain part of you, your talent, your drive, your ambition, your skills, your leadership. But on the other hand, people don't like women when they're the boss. They don't. They just simply don't. And so they're going to find something. And so especially when they try to check you and you stick by your guns, then they really don't like you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I just learned over the years, this is the cost for being a boss when you're a woman. It really is. And sometimes you are wrong, but people don't come at men the way they do with women when they're in charge. They just don't.
Yeah, I just always wonder that. Like, would you talk to a man that way?
No, they wouldn't.
It's also so easy to label an angry woman as hysterical or overly emotional. So it's so easy to turn that around on us. Versus an angry man is much more seen as someone who's powerful.
He's
or
passionate.
Secure.
Yeah,
passionate.
Call me hysterical anytime. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to move on. I just had to get that off my chest because I'm a woman. Okay, so snow more. Did you guys read that there are no more snow days?
That is hot garbage. That's hot garbage. That is so wrong. So I feel like now kids have to pay for COVID for the next year, even after we're all back. Like, this is not their problem. And I don't think I give the kids a goddamn snow day. We've had snow days for how long in this country? I mean, think about that for a second. It's a snow day. Honestly, just be like, you know what? So-and-so doesn't feel well today. How about that? Not coming in.
I'm just worried that if they did bring snow days back, like, would we all have snow day PTSD? It's like, oh my God, is it going to snow forever? Like, after COVID, you're like, how long am I going to be home?
Is there going to be a vaccine for the snow?
Right.
It is a childhood, long-term memory. I remember you wake up and you look out the window and you'd be like, snow day.
Yeah.
But then don't you have to make up for it though? There's going to be a makeup day, right? It's not just canceled. You have to go back another day to make up for it.
I think they allocate a certain amount of days for snow days, but if it goes over a certain amount, then yeah, and I think it's a public or private school thing. But yeah, it's like one of the small pleasures in life that are once again are being taken away from us. And I guess these kids haven't had it hard enough. Now this is just one more thing that is going to be killing them.
I just feel like give these kids a break. You know what I mean? They've had a year and almost a half of remote learning. Like, leave them alone. Just let them alone.
And what are the teachers going to do? Because if it's a snow day and their kids can't go to school and they have to teach, how are they going to teach?
The same way they taught online when their kids were home and they were on Zoom. It sucked. It sucked for them.
Yeah.
Their kids will just join their classroom. Their 4-year-old kid will join the 12-year-old classroom.
Yeah, but guess what? That means there's no more snow days for us adults either.
Yeah,
Did
cool.
you
That's what I was
even
gonna
get
say.
snow days as adults?
Well, you know, if you can't get to the office, and your kids were home, you'd probably stay home.
Yeah, but you still work from home though, yeah?
Well, you can't
I
work
guess
and
Felicia
teach the
doesn't.
kids.
Yeah, you're not as much now that Zoom is definitely in everyone's everyday kind of life, then it's easier to work. I think you know it gets to this whole question if anyone's going to go back to work ever again.
I'm feeling so lazy. I was just telling my friend, I mean, I was going out with this guy and he was saying he used to be so productive. He'd wake up for a breakfast meeting, go to work. After work, he'd go for like a client dinner. And after the client dinner, he's like, so where are we going next? Now he's like, oh my God, I just want to sleep all day. And I feel the same way. I mean, I used to do 3, 4, sometimes even 5 shows a night. Now it's like one show. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired.
No, I know. I hear what you're feeling. I hear what you're saying, Jocelyn. Like this past weekend, we celebrated my son's 9th birthday, and we went to this place called Nickelodeon Universe in New Jersey. It's just like a Nickelodeon inside amusement park. And we weren't working, we weren't coal mining, we were just riding rides and listening to loud music, and we were exhausted. Like we were just completely knocked out. And I know that pre-pandemic, I would not have been that tired. But I was like, all that standing around was rough.
Is it a PCSD, post-COVID stress disorder?
Yeah.
Or post-COVID coma? Yeah, you know, I did notice after all this why I gained so much weight in COVID, because it's just like getting up and going to the office and walking and even trying to hail a taxi. It's just so as opposed to just sitting here on my, you know what?
Yeah, sexy ass.
Not sexy, not so sexy, but whatever. So yeah, very, very sad. But moving on, we're moving right along here, guys. We have the Golden Globe. I couldn't think of a better term, but yeah, the Golden Globes, they've been canceled by NBC because of all of this controversy that's going on. And it seems like, I don't know, they're getting really railed, and rightfully so, but they are trying to correct it. So what is going to happen?
Well, the one thing that got me was that they were saying that Scarlett Johansson said she was at Golden Globe events that were like bordering on sexual harassment, but they didn't say what happened. I'm like, I want to know what happened. Like, what was happening at these events that were, you know what I mean? Like, do you want to know what happened? Because I want to know like what went down.
Yeah.
She said something about like the questions that they were asking were really sexist. And I was also like, what kind of questions? Like, what were they doing? Like, you're right. She didn't give that much detail.
Yeah, we need specifics, not interpretations.
Well, I found the whole thing ridiculous a little bit when they stopped asking the actresses what they were wearing on the red carpet. I mean, really, it's like it's a whole pomp and circumstance. You could ask them we'd ask the men, but they're wearing a black tux. There's not much of a difference.
Oh, the designers were sponsoring those dresses so they could be asked what they were wearing. Now, like these actresses are going to have to pay for their own gowns.
I felt like that was really productive and really in denial of what the whole event is. It's a red carpet event. These people have $10,000 makeup jobs. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a $20,000 wig on to look like somebody's real head. And like these, you know, John Galliano dresses, it's kind of like, the designer is like, tell them who you're wearing. Like, we're not just showing up in our sweats from Champion. Like,
I want to know who does their $50,000 facelift.
Yeah. What are you wearing on your face? That's what I want.
Ponytail lift. I went down a rabbit hole on YouTube last night on like ponytail lifts. Like, what's this ponytail lift that everybody gets? I want to know.
So you wear your hair a certain way and it lifts all the wrinkles from the forehead?
I guess that they called it a ponytail lift, and it was all these because I don't care about the procedure. I don't care. I just want to see the before and afters. And these ponytails, they were amazing. They were taking like 20 years off of people's faces. I was like, wow.
You know what? Yesterday, so I have this one girlfriend. She will actually go around in pigtails. I mean, she's already like in her, way in her 30s, and she'll like wear pigtails. I was like, you can get away with that at this age. So yesterday I bought this new outfit that's a pinafore. It's like a pinafore looking outfit. So you look like a schoolgirl. And I tried pigtails. I was like, I think they shaved 20 years off my face.
No, high ponytails look good.
Okay, I'm wearing pigtails for the rest of my life now. Do I look too
I think I'm gonna wear this outfit for my show tonight and let you know if I get hit on by younger guys.
Or maybe older guys with a kink.
There you go. There you go.
I don't think your outfit matters, Jocelyn. You always get hit on by younger guys and older guys.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And why just the Golden Globes and why not the Academy Awards? Did the Academy Awards do a better job?
Yes.
I
Well,
think
they got real.
they
They got real in
tried.
the past 5 years. You know, they had the hashtag Oscars so white, you know, and so
Also, they fixed it, yeah.
they started getting their act together. But like the Golden Globes, there's like not one member of the Hollywood Foreign Press that's Black, and it hasn't been for the past 20 years. I'm just like, you guys have some work to do. Like the fact that they put this is so bad. Who the woman who won Best Foreign Film? I can't remember her name. The whole thing about they put it in the foreign film category because half the film was in not English. And I was like, yeah, but someone pointed out that in Inglourious Basterds, half the film was not in English, but that was just nominated for Best Picture. So like, yeah, they got some work to do. So like, let them do the work. That's what I say. Let them do the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just hope it's not performative, you know, because I did read that they said they're only going to cancel the 2022 ceremony, and is that just because you can't have it, or because your ratings are down, or because you're actually going to make change? Like, are you going to say you're going to make change for a year and then bring it back and just like nominate a few more people of color, or are you actually going to make a difference?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's a good question. Like, to me, they just need to just have a certain things that need to be done, you know, like they do this, they do that, you know, but just nominating a few people. They need more board members. That's just crazy.
Yeah, and what's their reasoning? I'd like to find out, like, what are they going to do? Like, what's the change? We're going to start noticing Black people?
I know, like, hey, guess what? See them now. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like a weird change, you know, like, oh yeah, they were there before.
Well, because there were some glaring things this year, like that reporter that mistook Daniel Kaluuya for Leslie Odom. Like, he just won. Did you see that? Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Like, Daniel Kaluuya just won. And he's backstage, you know, they're holding their, you know, their Oscar, the Golden Globe, or was the Golden Globe, and like they're asking questions, and then she like mistook him. It was really crazy. They're just showing like these people really don't know who people are.
I know.
Well, I confuse white men all the time too. So in her defense,
I know I confuse Asian people all the time.
I could see where you could be a little confused now. Well, hopefully. And also, what was it? I think it was Tom Cruise said he was giving back his Golden Globes.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I was like, okay,
like no one
you
cares.
Give your back from Vanilla Sky. Yeah. Okay, all right, Tom.
Yeah, trying to deflect the Scientology documentaries. Like, what are you?
I saw that crap. That was crazy.
Insane, right?
That was bananas.
Like the Scientology documentaries.
Yes, that was.
Yeah.
I was like.
Yeah, it's called Going Clear on HBO. And then if you watch the Leah Remini show too, oof.
Really?
I went down a Scientology rabbit hole. It's insane. Oh, yeah.
I did. I'll never forget when I visited my sister years ago when she first moved to LA. It was like 2003, 2004. And she had all these friends and they were actors and they were like, yeah, they like volunteer for Scientology, like different things like mailing out letters and knocking on doors. So they would get them agents. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? She's like, no, that's what they do. I was like,
wow. Also, in return for working for the Scientology church, they get representation in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Oh, Scientology is that powerful, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that might be worth joining.
Yeah.
It's a fair trade.
Yeah, I'll give out a few flyers. To agree with WME.
That's like someone said.
Sure.
Someone said
I believe in aliens.
Someone said as a straight white woman, I never get a Netflix special, and I said for a year I'll be a lesbian if it will help. Take one for the team. Anyway, we're talking about people taking other people. We'll move on to our next topic, which I like to call toad or pig. You know, all these women kissing these toads, thinking they're going to turn into a prince, and it turns out they're just a pig.
Funny.
I mean, what is going on? The funniest post is Someone posted, a man posted on Facebook, it was a picture of Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. And he's like, if these two men can't keep their wife happy, how am I going to?
It's kind of like when Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce and all the girls were like, if Beyonce can't keep her husband in check, what hope is there for the rest of us?
Yeah, that was like years ago when Halle Berry was cheated on by her husband then, Eric Benet. People were like, you cheating on Halle Berry? Like, what? Yeah, I mean, some men are they're just cheaters. There's just no way around it. You know, I love that quote, like, men are only as faithful as their options.
That's what I was just about to say. That's that Chris Rock joke. That's so true. And I was like, I guess Bill Gates just has too many gold diggers throwing it at him. And
yeah, he caved.
Is that so men have no self-control? Is that what we're saying?
A lot of men don't.
Mm-hmm.
A lot
I
of men.
think any guy would cheat if he knew he could get away with it. That's my theory.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So would you cheat if you could get away with it, Jocelyn?
Good question. Depends on how hot the guy is.
Hence why men cheat.
Because men will fuck anything.
In particular, Bill Gates is caught up in this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing as well.
That's what I saw on Twitter. It was this whole thing. There's this conspiracy that, I forgot, Melinda saying that she left him because she started to realize that something with his link with Epstein was more than they thought it was. I was just like,
wow.
You know, and I'm like, to me, that's a conspiracy theory. I don't see any receipts. You know what I'm saying? So as far as I'm concerned, I can't make that accusation. But I was like, oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, well, apparently he met Jeffrey Epstein, and then she met Jeffrey Epstein with him and said to Bill that she was not comfortable with him and did not like him and didn't want to have anything to do with him. Mm-hmm. And he continued the relationship, which is why does Bill Gates have to like canoodle with Jeffrey Epstein? He doesn't need anyone to help him get contacts with anything.
Because about Jeffrey Epstein, there's a whole generation of white women on the Upper East and Upper West Side that know all about Jeffrey Epstein from the 90s. Like so many women raised on the Upper East, Upper West Side. They're like, yeah, he used to hang outside my school. Like, yeah, like they knew all about him years before everybody else did. And so they're not, these millennials are not surprised. If they were born and raised here and with a school up there, they're not surprised by it whatsoever.
I'm surprised.
Because he wasn't checking for grown puss. You know what I mean? He was checking for the young girls. So like, yeah, everybody else is like, oh my God. But young girls are like, oh yeah, that's Jeff. Yeah, he tried to take me to lunch. Like, yeah, they knew that.
Wow.
Well, that's, I think, the craziest thing about Jeff Epstein in particular is that the reach that he had. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the Netflix documentary, but he was seeing like 3 girls a day at that Florida house. Like eventually, like you go through whole communities.
You run out. He was importing them from Sweden.
Yeah.
It's amazing though that he just like kind of had a high class escort service.
Seriously,
yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
And now all these men that are caught up in his web are being taken down.
He's basically sexually assaulting a generation of women.
And now, what about the fact that they've made it not illegal for prostitutes? They're not arresting prostitutes anymore. They're just arresting the pimps and the Johns. Did you read that?
What do you mean, the underage ones?
No, in general, in New York, I think prostitution is no longer illegal for the prostitutes.
Oh, I think
it's nice to turn the tables. The fact that prostitutes were getting arrested for so long, and then the Johns were just like, oh, you guys don't do it again. You know what I mean? So like, that's fine with me for a while.
Seriously,
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, prostitution is legal in Singapore. We actually regulate prostitution in Singapore.
Oh wow!
Yeah, well,
so they get health care, they get STD checks.
Wow. But what do you think about that? Because I was having that conversation with someone about, we want to be able to control our body. And we always say it's our body. We can do what we want. If we want to get an abortion, if we want to whatever. So if we want to prostitute our body, is that okay?
I think it's a woman's choice. I agree with that. It's your body, your choice. If you want to prostitute your body for money, as opposed to working at Starbucks, that's your choice. I mean, there happens to be a market demand for a woman's body as opposed to a male's body. So if that's the economics you want to partake in, I think it's up to the woman.
Yeah, and from a taxpayer dollar perspective, it's like, look, prostitution isn't going anywhere, whether it's legal or illegal. So might as well have our dollars goes towards something like these Johns and pimps that are exploiting these women and probably abusing them in one way or another.
If you took the crime out of it, then I can understand why it would be legalized. It's never going to go anywhere. It should not be with underage women, underage girls. But yeah, you took look with drugs, legalizing drugs, like taking the crime out of drugs, taking the crime out of the drug trade, I think is a good thing. So yeah, I think, there's sex workers. That's what they do. I mean, I wouldn't want it for my daughter. I wouldn't want it for my nieces or anybody I know. I think it sucks. I mean, a lot of people don't understand the average streetwalker gets raped about 8 times a year. It's a horrible life. Yeah, I had a friend who was doing her master's on, sex work 10 years ago. She was like, you have no idea the violence that streetwalkers incur. You have no idea. But they took the crime out of it.
Yeah, and if they took the crime out of it, that might the street walking might come out of it too. So what do you think the going rate would be for someone like me?
Well, you would be a specialty.
Unaffordable.
No, but you'd be a specialty. Girl, you'd be a specialty. You'd be a specialty. There's all these different categories. I used to check coats at a gentleman's club, a strip club. I checked coats about 15 years ago, the year before I got pregnant, and then all the way up to 3 weeks before I had my baby. And yes, I did. I'll never forget. I was getting bigger, and they were like, "We're going to move you downstairs." So I was okay, checking your coat. I'll never forget. This guy was like, "You're so pretty," and I'm like, "Thank you." And he gave me his card. He's like, "You're an actress, right? I heard you say something," and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I want to work with you." Went home, looked it up online. It was pregnancy porn. It was pregnancy porn. And I remember just being like,
no.
There's a category? There is a need? And yeah, I didn't call him back. I went to the car and wash my hands. But but on the whole thing, it was moms, grandmoms, amputees, pregnant women. It was all this shit. And I was just like, yo. What? So yeah, Felicia, you could get some coin.
Felicia, I don't know your rate is, but my rate is steak and martinis.
Oh, you're cheap. That's just the icebreaker for me, Need some diamonds and furs. Yeah.
Yeah, you are unaffordable.
I'm unaffordable. Yeah, just tell my husband. As my husband jokes, I made him when he married me. I made him a millionaire, but he was a multimillionaire before he met me. that's
a doctor did just ask me out. First date, steak and martinis. I was like, wow, I guess I have to put out.
Well, I guess you get marriage and dating is a form of prostitution then, isn't it?
It is, right?
Fair. Yeah, we need those diamonds in order to get that commitment.
I don't think, you pay you want to spend some time with me, you want to take me out and show me a nice time, hey. I don't think that's prostitution, but I'm like, you're not giving anything. If you're not giving any ass, I don't see how it's prostitution.
Well, they expect it, I think, is the problem.
Oh, they expect everything. Men expect everything.
Yeah. Did you see the movie? What was it? About the woman who it was about date rape. It was up for all the Academy Awards, A Promising Young Woman. Did you see that?
Oh
one?
Yeah,
no,
yeah, I saw that.
Cool. And it was the same concept. It was how men were just taking advantage of drunk women. And she went around pretending she was drunk and bring all these guys back. And when they started not listening to her, she would just snap out of it and be like, "I said I was not interested."
Man, one time I watched a sex crimes documentary about Linda Fairstein before she got taken down by When They See Us. Because Netflix, When They See Us, really just kind of ended Linda Fairstein with her involvement in Central Park 5. But it was really interesting. She was talking about and showing video of all over New York City over a decade of men who just wait outside clubs for drunk women. They just wait at closing. And they pose as Uber drivers. They pose as security guards. They pose as club managers. And that's what they do. They just wait. And then there were cab drivers that were specifically looking for women who were really super drunk. And I was just like, man, what young women are up against is crazy when you really
once again, toad or pig.
Yeah. Well, I actually have a joke. I have a joke about this because before I had my daughter, I was pregnant a couple years ago, and most of my pregnancy I didn't look that pregnant. I gained, 30 pounds in the last like 6 weeks, but I was really nauseous. So I would like puke in the street a lot. Cause Hollie, you've been pregnant, that puke, you can't hold it. And so sometimes it would be like outside comedy clubs at night. I would like go to a corner and like try to find a bush. And I can't even tell you how many times like dudes would come up and just like lurk because they thought I was just a drunk girl. I was like, even now?
Wow.
Even now? Wow.
Even now, I still got it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I was like,
No, but it's true. I remember, Elena, I remember time I went out with I went for drinks at a girlfriend's house, and I was like taking a subway home, right? And it was like after I had my daughter, so I was kind of a lightweight. It was like a year later, I was kind of a lightweight. And I'll never forget, I was on the subway platform, and dudes would start circling. And all of a sudden I was like, I'm too drunk. I'm too drunk. I'm down here. I gotta get out of here. I got upstairs. I called my husband. I was like, I need you to meet me outside with a cab because I have no money and I can't. And he was like, what's wrong? I'm like, they're circling. The buzzards are circling.
Yeah.
And it was a weird thing to like notice. I was like, holy shit. Why is he passing by me?
Right.
They're
like vultures.
They start testing your spatial awareness. You know what I mean? Getting closer and closer. That shit is crazy.
You know what was interesting? It was interesting. It's sort of an aside, but I was recently, for the first time since the pandemic, I decided to take the subway. I felt a little safe. So I went down, and what was interesting is that it was empty. So I was thinking to myself, do I get on the empty car or do I get on the car with just one other man on it?
No, that's a tough choice.
I couldn't decide which was worse.
Like, choices.
I know. So I chose the man and hoped that he was a good guy and would defend me if some creep. I hope that he wasn't the creep that I was trying to avoid.
Right.
I did actually ask a guy because I was on a subway once, and this guy starts stroking his dick, and so I went up to a guy next to me, and I was like, "Hey, that guy is doing that." And so he's like, okay, here, stand by me. I'll be with you until you're stopped. So that was sweet.
That's nice.
That's nice.
That's really nice.
There
I haven't
are
had
some
anybody do it to me. I haven't had anybody do that to me, but I got bumped like on the train. What was it? The 9 train that used to exist, and 9 doesn't exist anymore. But before 9/11, there was a 9 train. I got bumped on the train a few times, and I just thought, okay, whatever. And then I realized the guy was bumping into all these women. Yeah. And then this one dude was like talking to another guy who's like, yo, you see that? This happens again. And then the guy realized these 2 men were talking about him, and it was like, dude, he just rushed off the train. I didn't even realize it. I was like, oh, I just got bumped. That's annoying. I wasn't even picking up on it.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. This guy kept bumping me until this girl told me, oh, he did that to me too. So the next time he bumped me, I punched him, and then I chased him down. Yeah.
Wow.
You chased him down? Oh my God.
I chased him down. I don't even know what I was thinking I would do when I caught him. So I chased him down, and then my train came out. I was like, oh shit, I'm late for yoga.
Now it's time to be centered.
Yeah, right.
That shit will center you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And she makes fun of me, by the way.
I make fun of you?
Yeah, being like the privileged white lady.
You are the privileged lady.
You're going to yoga. I don't even do yoga.
Oh my God.
Anyway, well, guys, this was a fun episode. We covered a lot of different topics. Thank you for joining us on BROADish. I'm Felicia Madison.
I'm Jocelyn Chia.
I'm Hollie Harper.
I'm Elena Torres.
Thank you so much for joining us, Elena. And this is BROADish.